I just found out my so of almost 5 years was cheating on me the whole relationship. I never ever would have suspected it. He was very abusive and is a textbook narcissist, but he had this huge issue with cheating. For example, he would have a dream that I cheated on him and wouldn't speak to me for days. Cheating was the one thing I thought he would never do. He berated me multiple times a week for a whole year because I slept with someone before we were even seeing each other. Hadn't even held hands with him, but I was abused and degraded over that one night stand for a year. I have never been anything but loyal to him, even cut off all my platonic male friends because he was so controlling. Has a brilliant liar. I only found out because I found a journal type thing of his, by complete accident, where he mentioned cheating on me. I confronted him and he lied and lied and lied, came up with every ridiculous excuse under the sun. I left him regardless. Afterwards I found out that he was cheating on me with prostitutes on a regular basis, and we had a very active time life because he would basically force me into it on a daily basis. He also cheated on me several times with a man who is HIV positive. I've been tested and am clean, thankfully. What makes this so much worse for me is that while he was cheating, it was when my 4-year-old was diagnosed with aggressive brain cancer and given a very low chance of survival. I was 7 months pregnant at the time. All of a sudden I was spending weeks and weeks in hospital by her side while she was on death's door having the strongest possible chemo pumped into her tiny little body, horribly sick and in agony, while he was at home smoking MTH and ducking prostitutes and other men. I just can't ducking believe anyone could do that, and then I would come home and he would be so loving in between the abuse. No empathy or remorse at all. Now that he's caught and I have proof, he admitted it all and is now love beaming me with apologies and all your other typical narc acid. I'm ignoring him completely, which I can imagine is driving him insane. I will never take him back. But now I'm a single mom, I'm 24, I have 2 kids under 5, my daughter is still on cancer treatment. Picking up the pieces hurts like hell. But you'd have to put a gun to my head to get me to take him back, and I'd choose the bullet. He's a monster. Thanks for reading. I'm glad I found this sub. Redditor's reactions story 2 after. Redditor 1, I strongly suggest that you get counseling. If anyone needs it, you do. If you can't afford it, go to your local country mental health unit. They should be able to see you for free or at greatly reduced price. Op answer, I've been in therapy for a decade now, daddy issues, lol, but I'm going to really ramp up my sessions now. Redditor 2, I feel so sorry, Op. But you are strong and determined, I can feel it through this text. You will survive and prosper. Redditor 3, I was also with someone like this. To find out a long-term so who forced you into an overactive time life, who has been angry with you for being the victim of an assault and cry in a stairwell just based on the knowledge that a drunken female friend wanted to kiss you, could also have been cheating the entire relationship with anyone they could, and hiring escorts etc. is such a slap in the face. Manipulators are the worst pieces of crap that make you forget your worth, meanwhile being crappy and doing whatever they want. If anything, time heals all wounds. You have your children, who you love and who love you, and you can do this. Every day, remind yourself of the things that are good. Seek therapy too, lol, to help process all this stuff, because you can't bottle forever without feeling some kind of crazy lurch for control. You're already so strong for having been through all that at 24, and think in 5 years' time when this will have all been something that you have overcome. And in 10 years when you probably won't even think about. You're so strong, FCK man. Incredible mom in person. Story 2, my 29F boyfriend 32 meters went to a strip club on a guy's trip and bought a lap dance. Hi all. So my boyfriend and I have been together for 3 years. He admitted to me today that he and 2 of his other friends went to a strip club 2 years ago, 1 year into our relationship. He paid for a stripper to give him a lap dance, and so did one of his friends. They are all in long-term relationships. I'm so disgusted right now and feel so betrayed. Like these last few years, he's just been happy to lie to my face. It's funny because a couple months ago I remember telling him that if he went to a strip club it would be a deal breaker for me and I consider this cheating, but he didn't say anything then. After he told me today, I couldn't believe it. I asked him if he has ever slept or talked to anyone else during our relationship and he is denying it. I'm having a hard time believing him. Oh, and I can't talk to my best friend about it because her boyfriend was the one there with him. So I don't even know if she knows and I want to tell her so badly. I'm honestly so devastated and heartbroken. We had a huge fight and fought all day. Mostly just me crying and yelling while he took it. He's currently sleeping on the couch. I don't know what to do. We live together and share bills. I'm not even following my own rules because I let him stay here. Maybe I'm posting in the wrong sub, but a boundary has been broken for me. I wanted to come on here and ask your opinions and hear your experiences. Is this the start of him trickle-truthing? Should I let this go? Am I overreacting? Redditor's reaction story 3 after. Redditor 1, I disagree with a lot of comments here. You're allowed to have this as a boundary. It's a pretty common boundary such that it's reasonable to assume your partner is not getting lap dances unless you guys talk about it beforehand and deem it okay. Why the F in our society do we deem it okay to get lap dances? He didn't know your boundary, but he should have discussed it with you before doing it. I would be very upset too. All of that said, he told you the truth, which is good. I don't think this relationship is ruined, but you have a right to be upset. It sounds like he understands, which is good. He is listening to what you are saying and not being defensive from the sound of it. To me, it sounds like you have a good guy who did something stupid and is willing to learn from his mistakes and be honest about them. Redditor follow-up. He did know the specific boundary for years and chose to hide it from her. Getting secret lap dances in a relationship is cheating. She should tell the other girlfriends' wives for a start. Assuming none of them know, it would have to be because the men discussed it and agreed to hide it from their partners. Redditor 2, if it was my best friend, I'd be telling her. Redditor 3, it should be an obvious boundary. Doing something sexual with a person other than your so is not cool. You are not overreacting. If he needed this to be said out loud, then he is the one that is confused about the meaning of monogamy. Story 3, who else feels intense hatred for the affair partner? Advice. Need advice. My husband and I are married for 7 years. 1 year ago, he came clean and told me he had an affair with this lady for around 2 months. I was baffled. Had no idea. We went into therapy and things are going okay right now. However, the lady he had an affair with works in the same neighborhood as me. She knows I am his wife. I feel pure, deep, intense hatred for this monster. One time she saw me on the streets, waved at me and gave me a mean big smile. I have never been an aggressive person. But at that moment I wanted to run towards her, choke her until she stops breathing. I fantasize about blowing her brains out with my gun. I think I would be truly happy if I got the message she got hit by a car or anything like that. I really wish her everything worse and more. Things would have been so much better if her mother had an abortion. I had no idea I could feel this amount of hatred. It also makes me feel kind of like a monster. But seeing her ugly ass face every week when I go to work, it drives me insane. Redditor's reactions. Redditor 1, over 30 years ago the girl that I loved was having time daily, while I was at work, with a guy that I had known since grade school. About a week after I found out, he got killed in a car rollover. I remember acting a little sad as it was a tragedy for his family whom I had known since I was a wee boy, but in reality I figured the unemployed little s at PT had wasn't really leaving a big void in the world. I still think, fuck him, that cocksucker. Redditor follow-up, I'm impressed. I would have filmed myself doing cartwheels and posted it on his ducking Facebook wall for the friends and fam to see. 30 years ago, I would have done cartwheels everywhere and walked around town with a big acid-eating grin? Seriously, I think you won the ego lottery of post-infidelity. Congrats. Redditor 2. At first, yes, but then the more I thought about the situation, the more hate I had for the WP than the AP. I have no idea what WP told the AP. Maybe the AP knew that WP was in a long-term committed relationship, and maybe they didn't. However, the person that did was the WP. They knew, they came home every night to me, and they planned their future with me. They deserve all the hate I had at the time. If it wasn't that particular AP, it would have probably been someone else. It's been so long ago, and I've since moved on and have been married to a wonderful person for years. I still kinda do hate the ex-WP, but I'm glad I left them behind because I would have never fully trusted them again. Redditor 3. Yes. Yes, I do. My wife's affair partner was a friend we both worked with. Someone we hung out with, him and his wife. Someone who gave me a great speech about being lucky to have her. Someone who never respected me or my marriage, let alone his. So yeah, I have some hatred for him. Lots. Redditor follow-up. Yeah, my wife's AP was a close friend of mine who praised the strength and health of our marriage and expressed hope to have the same thing one day. I've never hated anyone. I do hate him. Redditor 4. Same. My husband had an emotional affair with a co-worker. I was friendly with this woman and would hang out with her at company events. I think about her and I just wish she would disappear. I hate her so much. Redditor follow-up. Same here. Did you ever confront her? I want to stay on the high road, but I'm so tempted to FB message her. Obs, my husband is the Ashol too, but Jesus, how can one mom do that to another? Redditor 5. I do. I hate her. I read all the time on forums about how forgiveness is really the desired outcome, or you'll feel like the better person if. No, duck that. I absolutely despise her and always will. If she was on fire, I wouldn't be SS on her to put it out. I oftentimes fantasize about what I can do to ruin her life, even though she's in a different country. Her desired career is to be a famous actress and currently believes she's a model due to screwing her unemployed photographer boyfriend and managing to leech approximately 1,000 Instagram followers. If I had the money, I'd pay someone to throw acid on her face and take away the only value she seems to have, given that her personality is severely lacking as is the development of empathy. Her family, who lives in Russia, genuinely makes me wish that some wartime it would go down. I know nothing about politics, but I genuinely hope some complete anti-communist warhead would barge into her family's place and just nuke them all. That is how much I hate her. It extends to her entire family. I made an account just to post this because a lot of people on Reddit seem to act like they're saints who feel more pity than anger. Duck that. Affair partners deserve absolutely no pity. They're no saints. And you know what? What happened to me has killed a piece of me, the part of me that was undeservedly kind to all. Sometimes when I hear about all of those news stories about people ordering others in crimes of passion, or women having acid thrown onto their faces, or things of that nature, I sympathize with the assailant sometimes. It makes me think, the victims are somehow always glorified to be these innocent angels who did nothing wrong, and now all I can see is the affair partner's face when I think of them. I go, yeah, well, sure, they volunteered to help children once like 4 years ago, but they probably ducked other people's husbands and laughed about it with their mutual friends, so maybe she got her comeuppance. Does it make me a monster or a horrible person? To people who don't understand, maybe. But yes, there's true, severe, endless, burning hatred that I have for the other woman. The description here is an understatement at best. I genuinely, severely do not believe she has any redeemable qualities and gleefully look forward to the day that she suffers. I would like her above all to contract an asymptomatic STD, live a shitty life, and obtain neurosyphilis. Additionally, I could not think of a better candidate for female circumcision, and would gladly be the one to orchestrate every misfortune in her entire life if it were possible. I don't think I'm a monster, but I do think she is. And I think it's normal to hate other people when they've hurt you in the deepest ways imaginable. Redditor follow-up. I feel the exact same with my so's female friend, which I know he is talking to in a sexual way, or at least a way that supposed friends shouldn't talk. I am honestly done with his BLLS and lies of being faithful. So hopefully tomorrow I can talk to him about it, and hopefully I don't have a panic attack about it. Honestly, a part of me is scared that I am playing right into her hands, but when I actually think about it, she deserves to suffer as much as he does, and by that I mean I hope that he treats her like absolute acid in belittling her and cheating on her and breaking her boundaries and trust completely. I know it's not good to want people to suffer, or at least wish it, but by the gods do I want them to not ever be happy together at all, and for him to completely regret everything he has ever done to me, and I hope that he ends up being jealous when he sees what he left behind for a shiny new toy. Edit. When I wrote this I was tipsy and slightly drunk. We talked yesterday and both decided that it's best to go our own ways, and he did admit that what he was doing to me was not right at all and that he honestly hates himself for it. He struggles with extremely low self-esteem, depression, and self-hate. I struggle with low self-esteem, depression, and both social anxiety, plus I guess you could consider it generalized anxiety also. Redditor 6, absolutely. Hate the AP. Married for 18 years with 5 kids, and my WS wasn't the only married man she flirted with and then slept with. Yes, just as mad and hurt by my husband, but deep down I want her life blown to pieces. Feels like she's doing just fine while I fall apart. But I agree with the post around happiness is best revenge. I know deep down she is pathetic. Her blogs, her Instagrams, Twitter. So much attention 24/7. My hubby is the idiot that fell for her ridiculous running essay. I'm currently jaded and get mad every time I see a runner, but I know it's misplaced. Just sucks to know how she was actively seeking multiple married men out. Who knows how many marriages she has ruined. Want to blast it everywhere. Redditor 7, absolutely. After the first time dealing with him and learning more about him. He's an absolute manipulative monster. I'm barely 4 days out from D-Day 2, I just want to ruin his life. The complete disrespect in their exchange. The obvious toying with her emotions. I'm devastated to think that she made this choice and can't see the complete disregard for her value. I'm probably going to catch a lot of flack for that last comment. My wife has a mental condition that has clearly gone untreated. I knew early on of the depression and distress, but it disappeared after we were married and our kids, but something boiled up and she made the choice to run instead of talking to me or seeking help. Both of them have violated me and my kids. Nothing I have said is an excuse. I loathe that man and would like to nothing more than for him to disappear from the face of the earth. Redditor follow-up. I'm sorry she doesn't treat her mental illness. For what it's worth, I sabotaged my marriage this summer. My husband didn't know what to do, so he just left like I told him to. It was the worst decision of my life. I hacked his Facebook and seen a message from a girl. It broke my heart. I couldn't believe he would do that to me. That sounds crazy, right? Well, I was crazy. I didn't see it. It came on so fast. I was convinced this was what I wanted. It wasn't until I was coming out of the manic phase that I realized I'd messed up. How long has it been? Redditor 8, hate? Yeah. More sadness, though. For both of them. They are broken and pathetic weaklings. They quit their marriages and hurt others rather than do the really difficult thing, fix themselves. They need therapy. They need a reality check against their entitlement. They need more than we do. My wife's AP no doubt wishes he could fight me. Good luck with that. He's already lost custody of his kids temporarily. Assault me and I'm bigger, stronger, and have a lot more reason to fight him, and he'll never see his kids again. Might even go to jail. He knows it. And me? My kids are way more important to me than some delusional fight with this dude that might result in me getting assault charges leveled against me. My ex would absolutely use it against me, too. I see them together and I think how sad they are. No smiles are going to hide the pain they know they caused. I don't hate them. I don't pity them, either. They are adults and knew fully what they were doing. They're just broken people. Redditor 9, hate will only hold you back. Glad counseling helped, but you need to forgive this woman. If you don't truly forgive her, you will always be hating and miss out on the joy in life. Yes, I do understand how hard it is to forgive someone who hurt you so much, but it's the best way to experience grace and happiness in life. I hope this helps. Redditor follow-up, I wish someone would have told me this many years ago. It would have helped a lot.